Oh, I like didn't pick the game still. Doing. No, it did pick the game. I don't know. Log me off, game, please. I was wanting to play the game. You died at the spawn? I probably died, yeah. That's probably why it's taking me so long to connect. Or it's taking me so long for my character to stop being logged in. I'm getting an error from the server that I'm already logged in, which means I probably died and then my character has to respawn manually. Yeah, I'm definitely dead because I'm probably got knocked down and then I have to wait the whole bar until I bleed out. Then it has to load. Then my character has to appear wherever I die, like wherever I'm binded, and then my character will automatically log off. So yeah, I'm probably dead. Guard my grave? Nah, it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. If I lose the stuff, I'll lose the stuff. It's not a huge deal. I just want to be able to get back in. I don't really care about the pixels. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah. I died. I assumed I didn't get far enough away from the golems. Yeah, I'm definitely dead though. This is where I'm binded at, so I'm for sure dead. Which means I need to grab a mount. Wait. Oh yeah. Or no, I've got my mount, right. Oh, I died with my staff out. Okay, that's decent. I don't have any rags to bunny hop though. That's kind of annoying. It's probably yeah, I guess I'll just mount there. Nah, you're good. You good, man. I appreciate you though. Appreciate you. Yeah, if I lose my stuff, I lose my stuff. Maybe I should just re-gear. We'll just head there, whatever. We'll just recall if I'm dead. Or if my stuff's gone. Just gonna take me a while to get there. It might be quicker to go to Sanguine. Take the portal back, but hard to say. Got a pretty long ways to out. But it is kind of a straight shot, so. Yeah, I don't think it was my internet. Like, sometimes these routers give me trouble, and I might just start hardlining, to be honest. I don't really use my... Like, I do use my Wi-Fi, but not very often. I usually just use it to watch stuff in my... Watch stuff sometimes in my living room. I usually don't use my Wi-Fi other than that. But yeah, it was my router. It wasn't even my internet. I think it was my router earlier, too. Because, like, my internet kind of went offline, but kind of didn't. It was really weird. Resin. So any golems, you want to use Acid Arrow. Acid Arrow is really effective against golems. Any type of golem. And that uses resin. Yeah, I didn't have like a ton of... I had a decent little chunk of rags, but nothing crazy. At most, we lost our rags and our little bit of food and an R40 or two R40 weapons. It's kind of a pain to get back up there, though. At least from here. I probably should have gone a sanguine, to be honest. Probably would have been quicker. Is that a vein I just saw? Ooh, it is. I think that's platinum, though. Ooh, platinum. Little bit of platinum. What clan are you in, though, Steph? You got any recommendations, potentially? I already kind of have an idea of a clan or two to try to join, but there's really only like one clan that really is pretty chill with streaming. That's probably the clan I'll end up joining, but if I do join one, I mean, I maybe could start recruiting. I don't know. Oh, Most Peaceful. Okay, okay. I feel like I've seen a few people in Most Peaceful that I recognize. I don't know any. I don't really know who's in explicit. I know much about them. Bro, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who I would know in it, but that's cool. I feel like I've seen. I couldn't tell you the names, but I feel like I've seen a couple people that I recognized in Most Peaceful. Wait, is that what I think it is? Or is that a mob? It's a mob. I don't know why that spider be shining, though. Spider's shining. That was a chaos chest for a second. Yeah, somebody... Is it you? Somebody was saying... Let me look at chat again. Oh, look at my mouth. Oh my goodness, goblins. Bro. Highway goblins right there trying to rob me. I feel like most guilds quit and the vet clan settled. Yeah, I have noticed that quite a few guilds kind of fell, not even fell apart, but like a majority of them quit out. Like I know Boner City Boys, a lot of them went elsewhere or quit. I talked to one dude in Team Frog that apparently a lot of them aren't active right currently. I'm not sure if they like quit per se or they're just not very active anymore or what. I wasn't too sure. But yeah, I've heard. I mean, those are the two that I kind of know for sure. Or I've heard that aren't very active now. But yeah, I'm sure there's others. I feel like a lot of people also just are joining a lot of the big clans, right? I feel like the big clans are pretty heavy recruiting, accepting a lot of people. Very potential strong guild. Yeah. Yeah, I mean if your leader leaves, then you're gonna have a hard time staying together. You're gonna have a hard time like keeping a clan together when like the main person leaves. And then I guess, and then you know, I don't blame Icepick for dipping, you know, or not really wanting to be guild leader, giving it a try. I feel like he could have maybe given it a little bit longer of a try, but if it's not for him, it's not for him. Like, I totally get it. I don't know if I would have wanted to just, like, get handed the reins to, like, a guild like that. I think that's a moldy crate, but... Is that a moldy crate? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is. Why did he quit again? Are you talking about Jonah or Icepick? Because Icepick was leader for like a day or two. Jonah? So I'm not 100% sure, but this is just what I heard Icepick, I believe, talking about the reasoning or explaining the reasoning to somebody. So if I get it wrong, don't blame me. This is what I heard. Basically, he's waiting for Steam launch and something to do with, like, I guess since streaming is his job, I guess it wasn't getting enough viewers for him, or wasn't really sustainable, I guess, in his mind, or something along those lines. Not entirely sure if that's probably not the only reason, probably not, but I guess that was sort of the reason that was given, which is understandable if, like, that's your job and you're not really getting the viewership or the whatever, right, that you need to live off of. Then I get it. You'd have to, you know, you have to move on at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I could also see, like, there's quite a bit of people that want to wait for Steam launch and stuff too. I think somebody grabbed my loot. Oh no, there it is. I did not see it there for a second. Cool. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know, like, there's no reason to, you know, it's totally understandable, right? Quit over something petty. I don't know. That's just a reason that I heard. I don't know if that's the actual reason, or I don't know. I mean, that's the reason he gave. That's probably the reason, right? I'm sure there were other factors, right? Like, I'm sure there were other things too, right? It's probably not just one thing, singular thing. Oh, cool. Nobody took any of my stuffs. Bad and nice. Very cool. Put our loot bag back on. Very cool. I don't know. I mean, it don't really matter too much, you know what I mean? Like, it's one person playing the game. It would have obviously been cool if he kept playing. But I shouldn't have done that. I knew it too. I started shooting way too early. That's my food buff. Kind of forgot what I was gonna say. I know because I was watching him a little bit here, a little bit there. It did seem that he was a bit frustrated at some parts of the game or something like that, which, you know, might have contributed. I don't know for sure. I know a lot of the Boner City boys went to, like a big handful of them went to the Rangers, is what I heard. Ooh, what'd you get? What'd you get? Got a Chaos chest? Very nice. The other day I got a Chaos chest for 108k. Like the best Chaos chest I've ever gotten. Anything good? Anything good? You know, I wish again I understand it, but I wish CDN would have kept playing a little bit longer, given it a little bit more time. It seemed like he was enjoying the game quite a bit, but I think he had a similar problem of like I think his viewership was tanking a little bit too much, which is, you know, obviously fair enough. And there's so many other games that are out that are popular right now. Hard to justify playing this, streaming this if that's your thing. Ooh, Infernal Girdle. Four border shards is pretty nice too. That's like what, like 6k there in portal shards too. I don't know how much an Infernal Girdle is. Wish they kind of sponsored it to their viewers instead of just playing. Well, to be fair, I think a lot of new players got pulled in just from them playing it, right? I mean, in a way, just playing it is sort of sponsoring it, right? They just bring in that amount of viewership is kind of sponsoring it. And I do think CDN at the time was actively kind of trying to get people to play it and stuff, like on the stream. I didn't watch like a whole lot, but yeah. Well, just to kind of like put it in perspective, CDN started streaming Arc again and was getting like, you know, maybe like 1,500 viewers, and then he did his whole like, I don't even know what you call it, VTuber type thing, and now he's getting like more like 2,500, 3k viewers, something like that. So it's definitely hard to justify losing viewers, having like what, like a third to a fourth less viewers. This guy's jacking my spawn, man. I can go to the other one. See if we can ID this guy. They had 100 plus members. Yeah, they had like 164 people or something like that. Last I looked. Why you hiding in the tree, bro? I'm not gonna kill you. Freaking peaceful, man. I'm peaceful, man. I'm friendly, man. Friendly, man. Friendly, man. Oh, he red, man. Oh, what's up, man? That's most stuff. You can have this one if you want. I don't care. They had like 100 members. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I read that. Oh, you're good. Okay. Yeah, I don't care. I didn't realize that was you. But yeah, I think it's hard because what ends up happening, right, is like And that might have been like a reason why Jonah might have also dipped, right? Because you see like CDN losing like viewers. That obviously is going to boost the category up and get more viewers in general getting circulated through the category itself, right? Like the more streamers or the more like overall eyes you get on the category, the kind of more people learn about the game, more people play, the more players, the more viewers. In a way, right? It's not like that with every game. Like more people playing doesn't necessarily mean more viewers always, and vice versa. But I can correlate at least a little bit. Some games are more people watch more than others, even though it might have like a smaller player base. But yeah, it's tough because you kind of need like a somewhat larger streamer to sort of latch onto the game that can afford to sort of play the game even though it doesn't have many viewers in general. Or you need like a bunch of people streaming it kind of at once that like are, whatever size. Like uh you need I guess what I'm trying to say is you need like sort of an ecosystem, you know what I mean? If you don't really have that ecosystem built up. So for instance, I'm trying to think of like a solid example, but I'd have to look on Twitch because I don't know of like a super solid example right now. But I'll give you like a little bit of a similar close example, like Foxhole. It has like a few streamers, like let's say a couple partner streamered, a few. It has like a few, kind of larger streamers, like 100, 200, couple hundred or something like that, that play it pretty regularly, stream it pretty regularly. And then you've got like, obviously like a couple handful of platinum over here. So like Foxhole is like pretty relatively similar, right? It's got about 3 to 5,000 players on average, roughly, which is obviously more than Darkfall, I would say. Quite a bit more probably, but it's not like a super popular streamed game. Now it's like a little bit more popular right now currently because of because of the update. But there's like a little bit better examples than Foxhole of like games that but I guess what I'm getting at is like there's like a handful, like quite a bit, a handful of people streaming it, and then there's like enough people playing it that are willing to watch the game, right? Yeah. Yeah, so Unconquerable, it's actually like not a. I think him going to WoW is actually pretty smart, to be honest. It might not look like it at first, right? Because you might be like, well, he's getting like maybe less viewers than playing Darkfall, or maybe less. Um, but the thing is like the potential to grow in like a category like WoW is humongous, especially for somebody who's already got a couple hundred viewers type situation. Like it's very different. Like if I go play WoW, like hardly anybody's gonna watch me play WoW. You know what I'm saying? Like he already has like an MMO base viewership, right, built up. So it makes sense to go to WoW because really there's not a whole lot of alternatives for one. He's probably played a lot of the other alternatives as well. And WoW's popping off right now, right? So that's another thing. You're like riding the wave a little bit. It's kind of like how some streamers latched onto Arc and kind of blew up even further in Arc because Arc is just such a popular game to stream and play right now, right? Like it's a kind of a phenomenon. It's almost like Fortnite in its prime, right? Like just everybody's getting lots of viewership. Everybody's kind of has played it and is playing it. Now, you're gonna have like insane competition in WoW and in Arc and stuff like that, right? But like, you also get a whole lot of new eyes too. Like the potential is huge because for a game like WoW, it's gonna be around forever too, right? Build like a WoW viewership up, and you know, you're kind of like, what is it called, evergreen? Oh, for like 3 or 4 years now. Oh, okay. See, I haven't really watched him very much. Nice. Wonder how much those infernal legs go for. Get some cellular. Yeah, so you would probably have a lot better insight than I do than Conquerable. I mean, I could see it from like the streaming perspective a little bit. Because I've streamed for a long time. Not that I'm like, you know, I'm a very, very small streamer, so I wouldn't necessarily know kind of from his perspective what he would choose to, like why he would choose to do certain things and stuff. Stream certain games and all that. Yeah, it's pretty decent chaos chest. Not that much money, but I bet that Inferno girdle goes for a bunch. Aren't these freaking golems spawning, dude? I guess I killed that third golem pretty late. It was really sudden. Oh, you were in bonus season, boys. Yeah. It was definitely an odd shift. I definitely agree, right? It definitely was odd. Cause I mean, I could be wrong, but somebody was saying that he was like just talking crap about WoW, and then like the next day he was playing it, which is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny. That's just like normal thing. You know who else does that sometimes? Summit. I like I watched Summit for a while, and he'll do some stuff like that. He'll be like, "This game sucks," and then the next day he's on the game. So funny, bro. Sometimes whenever you're like thinking about a game, whether it be good or bad, sometimes that like one that kind of gets you to want to play, even though it's like you might be talking shit about it. Like I've had that happen before too. Like, oh man, this game, I remember why I don't like this game, and then all of a sudden you're playing it. You love Summit? Yeah. I watched Summit for such a long time. Have you tried Mortal Online 2, mate? No, I haven't. I haven't tried it. I have not. I've heard good things. Really only heard good things. I've watched quite a bit of Mortal, though. There was a time when Mortal 2 first came out, I was like heavily considering trying it. Yeah, I suggested so Summit had a he has these occasionally where he has like a day where he's just sitting around trying to figure out what game to play. And I tried. I probably posted like 5 or 6 messages like, hey, you know, you could try DarkFall. I tried my best, but I was overlooked in the crowds. You know, he actually watched a little bit of like a Darkfall video like a couple weeks ago or something on stream. It was like in between Counter-Strike games or something. But he didn't like continue watching it after cuz like a game popped, like his queue popped and then he kind of paused it or closed it and then didn't like talk about it or watch it or anything like that again. It wasn't a very good video, unfortunately. I wish it would have been like a Siege video or something. Worth trying though? Yeah, it was worth a try. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been good timing to be honest for the game, but it definitely would have been. It would have been pretty cool, you know. Definitely would have been pretty cool. Because he was actually, he was talking about like Elder Scrolls Online, and he was talking about a couple like MMO type games potentially. He's like, oh, this maybe sounds cool, or that might be. It seemed like he was kind of feeling an MMO in the moment, right? I think he ended up landing on DayZ, and I think he came back to GTRP and stuff. It was worth a try. I tried my best. Tried my best. I tried like maybe like 6 or 7 messages. Try to time it out well, but just gets lost in the masses, though. You know. I timed a few of the messages out pretty well, but you know, there's only so much you can do. He is aware of the game at least, like ever so slightly, because he did watch a bit of a video on stream, a little bit of a video in between Counter-Strike games. But yeah, Summit's hilarious. He's probably one of the realest large streamers out there, to be honest. He's also somebody that would be willing to like kind of take a hit viewership wise for like a month for a game, you know what I mean? I don't think he's willing to do it currently though, because he's kind of stopped playing Arc Raiders, and he's like said quite a few times that like he should be playing Arc Raiders like viewership wise. Like he said that a few times when he was playing Counter Strike. He was like, I really should be playing Arc, but yeah. Did you know Shroud apparently played Darkfall? I don't think Shroud even like knows Darkfall like, still exists though. I don't think he knows about. I don't think he ever got really told about Rise of Aegon or anything. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's like tried to reach out to him at any point. I honestly don't think any like large streamer should really play the game until maybe Steam though, because there's definitely kind of like viewers like players that like player count that comes into the equation. I heard Darkfall is Shroud's apparent favorite game. I think it's his favorite MMO. I don't know if it's his favorite game, but I definitely have heard like a clip or something of him saying it's his like I think favorite MMO. Maybe it was his favorite game. People are afraid of streaming games like this. Yeah, there's like quite a few reasons as to why somebody would not want to stream this game. Like there's a list of them. One would be stream sniping. This would just be horrendous. Like stream sniping is pretty bad in this game. It's really not like that. Like stream sniping is really not that bad or anything like currently, but it would definitely get bad if the game was like a lot more popular and there was a lot more people streaming and watching. It definitely could get bad. And then there's also just the aspect of like people feel the need to hide everything. And then there's just the aspect of like full loot, right? Because like take WoW for example, like you don't lose your stuff, right? Like yeah, somebody might roll up and kill you or whatever, to like get on stream or something like that. But it's not going to become like an issue where it's like really affecting the game much. Um, no, I mean people can snipe you in this game. It doesn't really matter that much if you show your map or your mini map and stuff like that, or you hide it. I mean, like if you're pretty familiar with the map, then like people will be able to find you regardless of if you hide stuff. But I mean, hiding, hiding like your mini map or maybe even your map would definitely help a lot. Like if you're a big streamer, because then you wouldn't have like the other random players that follow you to different games. You wouldn't have those people be able to find you in game, right? Like a random person that just watches like the stream who doesn't play Darkfall wouldn't be able to find you if you like cover your like mini map, whatever. Do you think that Darkfall will become more popular? It's kind of a loaded question because Darkfall used to be very popular. There used to be like 20 or 30,000 people that played this game back in 2009. And that's pretty dang popular. Do I think it will be popular again? It's very hard to say. It's very, very hard to say. I want to say it could be popular, but it is tough because like it's not like streaming's end all or be all, but if the game's going to become like very popular, you're going to have to somehow, it's going to have to be more streamable, or people are going to have to be more okay with streaming it. I don't know. The current climate of streaming the game isn't super great. It never has been, but yeah, I don't know. You'll shit on them unless they're a good player. Yeah, the problem is that they're gonna bring like they're gonna bring 10 people with them stream sniping, right? They're gonna bring a whole fucking crew of people. Like, oh, he's over here, guys, he's over here. And then like you're not gonna be able to play X amount of people, right? Now, what you might end up having though is like this would be like a good example. What you could have happen though to kind of counter that is you can PvE a lot of stuff in a group nowadays. So what you could do is just you could just like kind of only group PvE, right? For the most part. Just do a lot of stuff in a group on stream. And then because even if there's like 40 stream snipers, right? Like a group of like 40 people stream sniping. That's not gonna matter against like 10 good people, you know what I mean? That are with you also PvEing, right? You're just gonna be able to outplay them, right? But when you get down to the when you get down to like one verse whatever, right? That's when it gets tough. Just gonna have to not loot the rest of that. We just need a veil, I think. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like it'll only be good players. Yeah, but that's like even worse, right? It's like then you're basically saying, oh, it's somebody who plays the game a lot, who's good at the game, is gonna stream snipe you. Like that's even worse than it being a new player. I feel like because like those people shouldn't be doing that, right? Like those are like the people that should be not doing that, right? Because I mean, I don't think it really happened to CDN. Um, I'm not really sure though, but that's like a good sign that it didn't happen to CDN. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't think the people like the vets necessarily would be. There might be a few that would, but I don't think they will be the ones stream sniping. What'll happen is it'll be the players that are somewhat familiar with the game, like maybe they played a bit, like maybe they started, now within the last month, and then let's say like 6 months down the road, Steam comes out. They might some of those people might be the people that like stream snipe, or it might even be some veterans in the mix as well that just they want to, or people coming back to the game that are like, I want to see the game fail, so I'm gonna like go stream snipe this guy, or I want to be on stream and I want to be the one to kill this X streamer or whatever. And then you're gonna have people that hate this streamer or that streamer that are gonna stream snipe. But I feel like for the most part though, like it shouldn't be that bad because you can do a lot in like as a clan or as in a group in this game nowadays. So you would kind of need to just mostly run around with a group. I feel like. And you'd probably have like I forget what they call it, but you would have good stream snipers, right? That would like be around and would kill the people that stream snipe you, right? You would also have those type of players too, right? So they wouldn't necessarily get involved with like whatever activities you're doing, but they would just hang around and make sure that you're not just gonna get, you know, you're not just gonna get killed by somebody stream sniping. And yeah, I mean the game works well like in a group, right? In a crew, right? Especially with the task system and everything now. And it's just for the most part, it's like what most people enjoy doing in this game is like group stuff. So it does facilitate the game. I think the problem currently, and what will maybe be the problem, is whether or not the game will be like mainstream enough for people to want to like main game it, right? That have like a pretty big audience. Because it's obviously not at that point where I don't know that streamers are willing to risk the, I guess, financial hit for it to play it, which is fair enough. You shouldn't. They shouldn't. They have to think about that stuff. I don't have so much mandrake. Oh, I think I hit a couple roots is why. I don't know why I have that much mandrake. Yeah, because like even Summit worries about viewer count and stuff occasionally, because like he doesn't want his stream to like feel dead at some point, right? Like to some degree, you have to kind of maintain, I guess. But that's like if it's your job, right? Which is like the people you would want streaming it, that you would want it to be their job essentially, like viewership wise. I mean, really, you want like more people streaming the game in general, right? Like even just like other people that were streaming it that might have been like smaller streamers like me. It's like you still want them to play it too. Like you want the sort of like Twitch community to be alive on like viewers and streamers for the game. Oh, guess more meat stew. I have a bunch of yeast. I could probably cook some stuff. Oh, I'd have to go somewhere outside the city and cook. Let's see what my clothes are close to breaking. It'd probably be good for another round though. All right, more than halfway. We're getting there on the limestone. We're getting there. Cool. Since flagging and stuff will be different, you should be crewed up probably. Well, yeah, that's gonna change once faction war comes into play. It's gonna be a lot more like old DarkFall, where you're gonna have the 3 different factions, and you're not gonna lose alignment by killing the other factions. And they'll be red to you and stuff like that. So it'll just be way different. I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna do that, but apparently they're gonna test that towards the end of 32-bit for Steam. They're gonna test the faction war stuff. Which I'm kind of like hoping they start rolling out some of the Steam features. I hope they start rolling them out pretty soon. I feel like they need to kind of start to test some of this stuff. I know Steam's probably like a year away. I know they said 6 to 8 months, but until I see like an actual release date, like I'm thinking Steam's probably a year plus away. But yeah, I think Steam's gonna help a lot for like just the longevity of the game. Because I think being on Steam makes it so much more accessible to be able to play. It might not seem like a lot, but just knowing and figuring out, like knowing the website, going to it, getting it downloaded, doing the whole launcher thing, like those are steps that not a lot of people will actually do. It's kind of crazy, but and just it being on Steam, I think a lot of people also don't know that it's even that they can play it right now, because it's technically, you can type in Rise of Aegon on Steam, right? And you might go there first and be like, oh, it's not out yet, right? Stuff like that. So I think if Steam launch goes well, there's like a lot more onboarding for newer players. I feel like if the Steam launch goes really well, and like, I don't know what they should do advertising wise, but they probably don't even have advertising money, but they do any type of advertising, just trying to convince, not really money wise, but just trying to convince a couple streamers that to try the game, you know what I mean? Like people that would potentially stick with it for like a month or so, you know, like a Summit. I don't know about Shroud. He kind of bounces around a lot, but you know, stuff like that. It's hard to say though what would actually work. I mean, if you have a lot of players and you're on Steam, then like Steam itself is gonna like sort of suggest the game quite a bit. So that's always kind of a nice aspect as well. Just it being on Steam though is gonna help a lot, because any game that's on Steam can always be sort of revived in a way, right? Because once it starts like jumping back up, it starts to appear on different, different like leaderboard, different trending pages and all sorts of different areas. It gets like kind of recommended to people to play MMOs. It's just the natural marketing is just a lot nicer on Steam. Plus, you get to know the player count. Like, if the player count's really good, then people will look at the player count and go, oh, okay, this is like an active game. Like, this has got players. Like, I'm willing to try it out. Just having the, I mean, it's like kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because if you have like a lower player count, then that stops people from wanting to play too. Because they look at the low player count and they go, this game's not worth playing. It's not, I'm not alive, right? There's a little bit of a double-edged sword, but I think with DarkFall specifically, it should help more than it hurts. And you never know. Like, you could have a giant snowball effect, If you get like 10, 20,000 people playing on Steam launch or something like that, like that's going to draw a lot of outside people that have never heard of the game to trying it. Especially because it's free. People love to just try out a free game. Yeah. Oh, the game feels way different when there's 10,000 people playing on the server. It feels so different. It is like dude, back in the day in original DarkFall, I'm not even kidding, you pretty much saw somebody on your screen at all times. Like, it is insane how alive the game feels. It's so wild. I remember, like, I have a memory, I can like almost replay it in my head of like, I'm on a mount, right? And I'm like, let's say I'm going to this tree, right? I'm like mounting towards this tree. Boom, there's a guy. And I'm like, oh, we both kind of do the oh shit moment, right? Where it's like, oh crap. And so we both kind of turn off. And then the direction I turn into, oh, there's another player. Oh, fudge. Okay, I'm going this way now. And it's just like, you're just like skirting and schmooving around, bro. Like, constantly seeing people popping up. It's such a different game when the world is filled up. Yeah, I mean, the 64-bit should run even better, honestly. What's nice about this game is the fact that it is old at this point, so you can get really, really good FPS now. It used to be back in the day, like, it would be a bit slideshowy because it was like 2009. Imagine 2009 playing this game. Is this a player grave? Body is still here. I thought this was a critter grave. Is this where most dev got attacked? Oh, it is. What the heck? I didn't even hear them fighting over here. I'm surprised I didn't hear, like, I was over here. I'm surprised I didn't hear them fighting. Did you leave me any goodies? Oh, lizard on a stick, bro. That's the most important food in the game. You left a lizard on a stick. How many people are playing DarkFall these days? I haven't heard a recent player count. The most recent player count I heard was... I can't remember. It was either 2,000 or 3,000 unique accounts logged in, like active accounts, over a 72-hour period, I believe. So I don't really know. My guess would probably be, like, if I was just a guess, I would say about 300 to 600 average. That would be my guess. but I am purely just guessing. Like I have no idea. That would be my guess. Now they did have, I know at one point they had like 1,800, maybe 2K on at one point, I think. But this was like early on, like a month ago or something, first week or something. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to look in the Discord. I'm sure they posted somewhere in the Discord a little bit more recently, but I need to eat my food. Oh, of course he goes into his shell the moment I eat food. I could probably look on the Discord though. Let's see. Player count. Okay, people are asking about it, and I think they responded, so this was a couple days ago. Let me kill this golem and I'll look a little bit more. This golem is beating my ass. Discord? Yeah, how do I get the Discord link? I'll just grab it from the website. Hold on. Discord. There you go. There you go. That's the Rise of Egg on Discord. So then what you'll do if you wanna like find anything on the Discord, just up in the top right, after you verified or whatever, you can type in the top right, like there's a search bar like on Discord. You can just type in stuff. That's how I get like a lot of info. So let me look here. Let me see if I can find. They'll have been sorted out though before Steam launch. They won't let any DarkFall to be hosted on Steam if there is even a questionable question of I. Weird. Okay. The message. All right, let me check another post. Player account. Wait, where are you getting these from? We've had quite a bit more than 4K playing in the past month. But what does that mean? That's probably just 4,000 unique people last month. Doesn't really tell me active like averages or nothing. I don't know. I know they said a few different times different sort of numbers, but see if I can find any other thing. That's probably the best. That's probably the best you're gonna get. That was like more recent. You can always just ask in the Discord too. Quite a small number. Yes and no. There's a lot of fast traveling. And that's just my guess. It's very hard to say exactly. But again, like with fast traveling, the game's fine with that player count for now. I think it'll be a lot more come Steam launch. When Steam launches. You gotta understand, Steam is gonna bring in a ton of players at first. Like a ton of players. Because the game isn't very accessible right now, right? Like it's all word of mouth. You have to go to the website, download a launcher, make an account, log in, all that. Like you're not gonna have to do any of that. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's like a big step. Also currently on Steam, Rise of Aegon is coming soon, right? So people might think that the game's not out yet. They're like, oh, hey, check out this Rise of Aegon game. They go to Steam and they go, oh, it's not even out. Okay, I guess I'm not even gonna try to play because it's not out. But yeah, I mean 600 is not a ton, but it's a lot more than like I would say roughly like 1,000 plus is probably like enough for the game to like sustain wise. With the way the game currently is, right? With like how there's a lot of fast traveling. Now a lot of the fast traveling is gonna get removed come Steam launch. So then you're going to need quite a bit more players. Like when the original DarkFall shut down, it had around 2,000 to 3,000 active players. Something like that. There's all my stone. And honestly, the original DarkFall still felt pretty dang alive, even with like 2 or 3K, you know, average players. Like it still felt really good, to be honest. That's why everybody was so mad about Unholy Wars, because it was just like, what are y'all doing? Land Unholy Wars was supposed to be an expansion, but it ended up being a completely new game. But again, I don't know what the player count actually is. That's just literally my guess, and I could be totally wrong. But honestly, it's really not that bad. I mean, look at like Mortal Online, or I mean, that's about as equivalent of a game that you could get, and it like I would probably say Darkfall currently has more players than Mortal Online, if I had to guess. And they're very similar games in a lot of ways, like both MMOs. You know what I mean? You can't really compare. Like MMOs are always gonna have like population issues potentially, because it just you got to get like enough people invested, right? Starfall doesn't want to compare to ML. Well, the reason I'm comparing it is because it's like a similar game, but and I'm not comparing it to be like, oh, it's dying like Mortal Online 2. That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like Mortal Online 2, people still play it even with that player count, right? And I don't think Darkfall's... I think the player count we have currently is pretty stable, actually. Because it's been over a month now. And usually, like, the people that have quit are probably already quit, right? Like, you're going to have a little bit more fall off over the next maybe month. But then the pop's going to be pretty stable after like 3 or 4 more weeks. And it already feels like it's pretty stable. So there's not really anywhere to go other than up from here, you know what I mean? And as they add in the new Steam features to the game, like they're going to add in VoIP, they're going to test VoIP, they're going to add in the racial wars, faction wars or whatever at some point. Like people are going to want to, people that have tried the game the past month, they're gonna want to come back and try those new features as well, right? Like the people that have stuck around are gonna be like, bro, come check this out. This is sick now. And you're gonna get new people in. You're gonna be like, dude, these golems are going crazy, bro. What am I looking at? Oh my goodness. Get away from me, golems. Get away from me. One of those is gonna go off and heal, but whatever. Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is no one expected this version, the Reforged, to be as popular as it is, right? Nobody expected it. I honestly thought there was going to be max 100 players, and then it was going to drop off to probably like 10 to 20 players after, you know, a couple weeks. Nobody, I don't think anybody expected the game to pop off like it did. I mean, heck, dude, a freaking 1,000+ viewers streamer freaking streamed the game for a week. Like, would have been cool if he kept streaming, but hey, I mean, that brought a lot of people into the game. Brought a lot of eyes. Yeah, I mean, the 64-bit version's far away, but the thing is like, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter that it's far away, right? You're not trying to keep people playing all the way till Steam. That's not the goal. The goal is to have a really successful Steam launch, right? Like, people will come back around and try the Steam game because now they know about the game, right? Like, all the people that tried the game and quit, they now know about the game, right? Now it's like they know that the game exists and they know that it's there, and they probably also know that it's coming to Steam, right? So everybody has been talking about the Steam launch, right? So I can guarantee you a big majority of those people are going to come back and try the Steam launch for sure. It doesn't really matter that Steam's far away. I actually think Steam being far away is like actually a really good thing, because now you can try out and test out all the Steam stuff, and then you can build the hype for Steam launch. You know what I mean? Let's say Steam came out in like 2 weeks. Well, the people that quit probably aren't going to try the game back out again in 2 weeks or a month or something. They're probably moved on to other games, and they're like not interested in even trying the Steam launch, right? But you give it a year, you give it like 8 months, something like that. They'll be like, oh yeah, DarkFall. That game was pretty cool, but I was kind of waiting for the Steam launch. Oh, and here's the Steam launch. That is dope, you know? And you can build a lot of hype that way. Like, take Arc Raiders was a good example, right? Like, you had the whole, what do you call it? Steam Next Fest thing? Or was it Steam Next Fest? I don't know. It was some kind of beta or something like that. And people were hyping up Arc Raiders for like 6 months or something. And it could have came out, right? But it just built more and more and more hype. And then it just absolutely, you know, it's a very special circumstance because Arc Raiders is very unique. It's kind of like a Fortnite, right? It's hard to compare anything to like a game like that did it incredibly well. But yeah, I mean, I honestly think DarkFall's in a very, very good spot. Like, it's gotten way more eyes on it, way more new players than it's ever got, or not ever gotten, but yeah, it's a very good sign, right? It's a very, very good sign. And it also, like, there's definitely lots of things to improve upon, but they've honestly made a lot of really, really good changes since the last time I played. Like, there's not too many more things. Like, if they continue on improving quality of life stuff and just improving a lot of little things about the game, then they're going to be very well situated to have a really good Steam launch. You know what I mean? Because, and the other good thing about waiting for Steam launch is you give people time to not only learn the game and get better at the game and like get ready for the Steam launch, right? Because you're gonna have like a whole new wave of players that are gonna be really good at the game by the time Steam launches, right? So you're fostering a whole new community of players that will now be able to carry their knowledge and skills over and whatever to Steam launch. And then now you have way more people that will play at Steam launch as well. Initially, you have like way bigger community starting out for Steam launch. And not only that, but you're going to have a lot more resources, right? One of the big problems right now with DarkFall is there's no resources on like anything about the game. The game is like such a complete mystery when it comes to trying to look up stuff about the game, right? There's hardly any guides. The guides that there are very old, and a lot of the information is like non-existent, right? Like just as an example, because this was a recent thing that I ran into, is let's say you want to take a holding, right? Like, you have to have a certain amount of premium members in your clan to take a holding over. Which, you know, no one tells you that. Like, you won't be able to Google that. I'll just put that. You're not gonna be able to Google that and get that information. It's not like WoW. Does the game already have enough content to be played? Yeah. Oh, for sure. There's plenty of content in the game. There's tons of content in DarkFall. Not only is there tons of content, but like players make a lot of content. Like content within the game. The content I'm talking about is like outside of game resources, right? Like, you know, like videos, or think like Wowhead. That's sort of what I'm talking about. But yeah, content in the game, yeah, there's tons of content. Content outside of the game, it's very lacking. And anything you do find is very out of date. That's why I made a bunch of guides, right? Like I got all these, we got like 4 guides. I need to work on another one, but I've been kind of putting it off recently. Yeah, there's plenty of content to play the game. I think the problem that I see, and it's not really going to be a problem forever, it's more just a problem currently, is there needs to be a lot better outside information on the game. And what I mean by that is like, think about like Wowhead. And what I mean specifically is like, for instance, if you go to Wowhead or you type in like Paladin leveling guide, right? It's like, I want to know what abilities I need to pick or talents I need to pick for my Paladin, right? things like that, right? You can just easily Google that and you get a ton of different things that you can pop up. And there's just like all this resource information there for you at your fingertips, right? Same with quest. You can type in any quest and then you can look it up and you can see where the NPC is to get the quest. You can see where the NPC is to turn in the quest. You can see all the chain, parts of the quest. People comment on the quest and tell you, oh, like this part is, you can find this thing for this part of the quest here at these coordinates and stuff like that, right? Like you can get very, very specific questions answered because there's so much resources, right, for the game. And that's kind of what I mean about resources, right? Is you need like a bare minimum amount of that, right? Especially for an MMO. Ideally, you want like a plethora of information, but there's almost nothing with Darkfall, and any of the info that there is very outdated, right? So that's sort of the problem I see currently. And also, the game doesn't really hand feed you very well. And what I mean by that is like, again, going back to WoW, because it's a great example of kind of a game that does that well, that onboards you into the game pretty well. Basically, whenever you're leveling up in like classic WoW, right? Every two levels, you get new abilities, right? And you're gonna cast those abilities like, let's say 100 times, right? So I'm gonna cast Fireball like 100 times before I level, and then I'm gonna get like, I'm gonna get Frostbolt, and now I'm gonna cast Frostbolt 100 times, and then I'm gonna get, Fire Blast, like an instant cast spell, and I'm gonna cast that a bunch of times, right? And so it just like slowly gives you information over time. It's like the same with the professions, right? You mine some copper, and then now, oh, you go up to an iron node, and oh, you need like 115 mining skill. It's like, oh, okay, so now the game's like giving me that info over time, right? And then as I'm progressing in my mining, now I'm making, I don't know, chain shirts for blacksmithing, and I make a bunch of chain shirts, and then now I've unlocked some more stuff to make, and then it slowly gives you that stuff over time, and it all like flows together very well, right? Because you mine a bunch of copper in the starting zone, and then when you move on to the next zone, now you're still mining some copper, but you're also mining, bronze, or what would you be mining next? Like, I don't know, iron or whatever. But you get what I mean. It like feeds you bite-sized bits of knowledge over time, rather than like overwhelming you all at once, right? And then you have all these like outside resources to help you when you get stuck, right? Now, if you get stuck in Darkfall, you might Google something. Here's like a great example. You're swinging your weapon in Darkfall. You're killing some goblins, right? If you've even made it that far yet. And then all of a sudden, you accidentally press H, and now you're swinging up and down. And now you're like, why am I swinging up and down? Well, like, nothing online is going to tell you why this is happening, right? Or how to change it. Now, obviously, you can ask in game, right? And people are going to answer it. But that's just like an example, an easy example of like, you need to like somehow let people know all of these like very basic things within the game early on in the game, right? Otherwise, people get frustrated and they can't find the answers, or they can't figure out the answer, and then they end up like quitting, right? But again, I think the game does a lot better job than it ever has before with a lot of the quality of life stuff. So it's a lot easier to recommend the game to people, because it's like there's enough quality of life stuff now where the game, it doesn't feel like you're sort of fighting the game to do anything anymore, right? But they just need to continue to do stuff like that and focus on stuff like that. Lets you chew on the knowledge too. Yeah, exactly. It lets you, it like reinforces the knowledge, right? Because like you've got fireball, you shoot fireball a bunch of times, and then you're gonna continue to use fireball like all the way up till 60 too. So you by the time you hit 60, you know fireball, you know the talents surrounding fireball, you know your class way better, you know what all of your abilities do, you you know your class pretty well, you know how to do like you know how your class works in like a dungeon setting, you know like the intricacies of the spells, like fireball isn't just damage, it has a little bit of a dot, right? It has this long of a cast time, you know, I can squeeze in a fireball and then this by the time the mob gets to me, stuff like that, right? Like you get a lot of those intricacies down because you're just constantly utilizing the spell over the course of time, right? And it slowly feeds you that info, right? And you slowly learn that over time without being overwhelmed. But then there's also like a million resources online that you can just type in and go to. Like you can specifically Google search something very specific and somebody's answered it somewhere online, right? Somewhere you'll be able to find it in a video, in a forum, on Wowhead, on like any of these other sites, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're connecting the dots, right? Like the and you slowly get talents over time, right? You don't get talents to level 10, and then you get one talent point, you know, each level. So you're just slowly unlocking and your character's slowly progressing, right? Same with like your gear, right? The numbers get better. The number, like your gear starts to do a little bit more different kind of things, like the stats, different types of stats come into play a little bit more, right? And then you start figuring out, okay, this stat does this over time, and this stat affects this, and this is what stats I need, because I can go online and be like, what stats do I need to focus on as a mage, right? Like, you could have somebody come in into Darkfall, and they see these base attributes. Not only do they not even know where they're at, they don't know what they do, and even if they hover over it and read what they do, they still don't know that you need to level up all of the stats, right? Like, it's not like in WoW where you sort of want more of one stat or another and that type of thing. The game Darkfall is it's a very different MMO than a lot of mainstream MMOs. So the concepts for the game, like encumbrance, for example, is like pretty foreign to a lot of other MMO players or just gamers in general, right? So explaining that concept, it's like difficult, right? It's you're not gonna wrap your brain around it very easily because it's not similar to anything else that you've ever played, right? So then you need like extra guidance in those situations to streamline new players. Yeah, old WoW is like, you know, classic WoW. Back in the day, people didn't know, like original vanilla WoW. People didn't know crap about WoW, right? It's just the game was so incredibly popular that it basically paved the way. It was so good for its time. It paved the way for pretty much all other MMOs after that. It's basically the gold standard of MMOs, like doing MMOs correctly, right? It's just the best at it. And it probably always will be, to be honest. Um, I doubt you have an MMO that really topples specifically classic WoW. And there's obviously MMOs that are more popular than Classic WoW, right? But what I mean is like there's nothing else that's really gonna compare that can do what Classic WoW did, right? Like MMOs have changed forever because of Classic WoW. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have another Classic WoW MMO, right? It's kind of like Fortnite with the building, right? Like other games could do the building or replicate it and come along, but you know that specific type of thing is never gonna be. Uh, it's like reinventing the wheel, right? It's like yeah, you can make a better wheel, but you're never gonna like create the wheel again, kind of deal. You're just gonna make some other form of the wheel that's better or something, right? Kind of deal. You'd think it'd be dead by now, but it's just still held. Yeah, I mean, WoW's probably still the most played MMO. I mean, I don't know what else would even compete. I know Final Fantasy there for a while was like pretty popular. I don't think anything really compares to WoW though. I think WoW is still just as dominant as it's ever been. Like what other even MMO would even come close these days? There's not a lot of MMOs that are doing well right now, actually. Because you had New World died, you had Ashes die. World Online is pretty small. What other MMOs? I mean, there's Elder Scrolls Online, I think, has a pretty good pop. But it's nothing compared to WoW. What's another big MMO? I feel like there's not even another big MMO. I guess maybe Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy's on Steam, right? How many players does that have? Not as many as I thought. It's got like 24,000 24-hour peak. It's got about 10k active players right now, and then Elder Scrolls. It's pretty similar, like 8,000, 17,000 peak. I just had thought of another one, but now I lost it. Ooh. I just thought of another one, but now Guild Wars 2. I've heard Guild Wars 2 is really good. You think it's more popular? Yeah, see, it's not more popular than Final Fantasy. 10,000, about close to 10,000 peak, 4,000 active. What was I thinking of? I was just thinking of something. There's another one. What's another one? There's another popular one. What is it? I was just thinking of it, but now I forget. I forget what it is now. Oh, yeah. The Old Republic. Got about 7,000 peak, 2,400 average. It's probably the least popular of all of them. All of those that I just looked up. Those are the ones that I can think of. Oh, another one is Albion. Kind of similar. 11,000 peak. 5,000 active right now. Albion's pretty popular on Twitch though, as well. I don't know. I can't think of any others. I really liked exploration-based progression. Guild Wars 2 has always looked pretty interesting. I never played it though. I also feel like WoW benefits from having fan base grown from prior games built on pre-established lore. Nostalgic about, you can't really replicate that again. You need to grow another generation to be interested. Oh yeah, that's something. They scrapped the League of Legends MMO? What the fuck? I didn't know that. I was about to say the League of Legends MMO could be, I guess could have been like the next type of WoW-esque thing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it would be a WoW killer, but it would be that like situation, right? Where you have all that lore built up. I do get what you mean by having like people already familiar with the world and stuff like that. But I honestly think WoW was just absolutely revolutionary. I don't think, honestly, it's probably the most revolutionary game ever. Like, I mean, dude, WoW was having TV commercials and stuff. Like, I would literally like run into people, new people on the streets and talk about WoW, bro. Like, it was like the craziest thing ever. And this was like before gaming was super mainstream either, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know if there'll be another game like WoW. Probably the closest thing that there's ever been would be like Minecraft or Fortnite or something. But even Fortnite was sort of like already done, right? Like PUBG and H1Z1 already did like the Battle Royale thing, I think. But I mean, obviously there were MMOs before WoW too, but I don't know. I guess WoW just did everything kind of right. I also think that like WoW built off of like previous fantasy genres, you know what I mean? Like WoW is very D&D-esque in a lot of ways, right? So you're like piggybacking off of a lot of like very popular already established genre of stuff in a way. And I guess all MMOs kind of do that, right? Like there's a lot of like paladins and, you know, D&D-esque type of classes and stuff like that. And I'm sure there was stuff before D&D that had to do with like all of that kind of thing as well. It's hard to know exactly the exact reason WoW was such a success. I think it's just the multitude of all of it. And I think at the end of the day, WoW was just one of the probably one of the best games ever made. Right? I mean, heck, the past 20 plus years, people have been calling games WoW killer, right? And no MMO has ever killed WoW. You know what I mean? So oh yeah, same here. I grew up playing Warcraft 3. I played Warcraft 2, a little bit of Warcraft 2. I didn't have I don't think I had a PC at the time at Warcraft 2, but I played it at a friend's, I believe. And then I played quite a bit of Warcraft 3. I played a lot of Warcraft 3 custom games. Played a lot of like the actual RTS itself, 1v1. Yeah, Warcraft 3 was sick. Played a lot of the campaigns. But yeah, it definitely helps to have like basically a world you've already established and lore you've already established, right? And then you obviously had the same devs, you know what I mean, working on those stories and cared about the game, you know what I mean? And then the timing, right? The timing was huge as well, right? you just started having like cable internet and stuff. Like PCs could handle like a WoW-esque game at that point. It was just like perfect timing too. You know, you had consoles really blowing up at that point as well, like Xbox and stuff, and just a really... You know what's crazy? I've thought about this before, but remember like with like Xbox and even like PlayStation, but mainly like Xbox, how you would like be able to talk in game and like VoIP was a thing, and like talking in the lobby, that was just such a like commonplace. You know what I mean? For people to, like, the games were so social, and then you had split screen and all of that, right? So you had like LAN parties and all that kind of stuff. Like video games were super social back then, and then it was so odd when like basically everything moved to online, and then like voice chat, like in-game voice type stuff, basically went away for a long time, and then it kind of came back around, and now it's becoming popular again to have VoIP and to have. Now it always still kind of maintained with some games, right? But you didn't have a lot of games that had VoIP, that like continue to use VoIP or continue to like, you know, support kind of the old school split screen type deal. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point with Final Fantasy. That is a good point. Yeah, like if you have that, I mean, that's probably why Elder Scrolls Online, right, is popular too. I mean, same thing with Star Wars: Old Republic, right? It's probably the reason Star Wars Galaxies was very popular as well. Um, because you just already have that story and characters and all that to build from. You know, oh, you know what MMO I forgot? Is Old School RuneScape on Steam? I bet Old School RuneScape is insanely popular. Where do people play? Where do people play RuneScape? Is it? Do they just play on the site? I'm assuming. There's probably no way to know, right? Wow. 180,000 concurrent players for Old School RuneScape. Yeah. We were forgetting the second most popular MMO, Old School RuneScape. Yeah, I thought I was missing one, but yeah. I forgot Old School RuneScape is insanely popular. Now, RuneScape is one that just purely, I don't think there was any like, you know, anything leading up to RuneScape. It just was its own thing. I think Elder Scrolls as well was kind of the same. Has its own platform. Yeah, yeah. That's why I had to Google it. Yeah, I think RuneScape might have been my first MMO. Dude, I remember I was at my friend's house and he was playing RuneScape, and I thought it looked so stupid. I thought it looked so dumb. I was like, I don't know if I said that, but I was like, this looks so boring and dumb. And then I went home and played it a little bit, and then I was absolutely hooked. I was so hooked. I was so hooked on the game after I played it. It was such a weird feeling because I just remember thinking like, this looks so stupid, and then I played it and I was just completely addicted. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I have no real nostalgia for RuneScape. Like, I have nostalgia in the fact that like it's it's a cool game and I remember playing it and stuff. But I have no desire to play RuneScape, to be honest. Like no desire. I don't know. It's too it's too old school. And I'm not a big like click to move fan, to be honest. I really don't like click to move games. Just like a preference thing, I think. But only for a month? What'd you think about it? Was like the nostalgia strong enough for you to enjoy it, or was it just kind of like, was it just kind of okay? It's kind of like Darkfall in a way. I do like this. There's a lot of aspects of it I do like. It's just hard for me to get past like the click to move and like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't have like the nostalgia that I have for like classic WoW. Did I put away my stuff? I don't remember. I did. Okay. The server's about to go down, so it's kind of chilling. We have a gambling addict in his natural habitat here. Fuck, I forget how to put away my staff. Oh yeah, I wrote it down. Is it F12? Oh yeah, I have to have out. There we go. Uh-oh. The gambling addict has seen us. Okay, shall we do one spin? All right. One spin chat right before server. And so that way it rolls back. Here we go. One spin. All right, y'all ready? Full screen slots right here. Here we go. Here we go. One spin. That's it. All right. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me take that off. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Oh! Oh. I was about to say, bro. I was about to say. Oh, I got excited there for a second. I was like, wait, no way. Okay. All right. Oh, a little sneaky war. Are they gonna throw down a siege? How sneaky. Wonder what holdings about to get hit. Oh, I guess it doesn't announce the sieges anymore, does it? But you do get to see that they go to war, which probably means they're throwing down a siege. Kind of scummy to do that this late at night before the server goes down. Kind of scummy. Kind of scummy. I guess just log off. Like, actually try it. I gave it a roll. I gave it a spin. Get stuff done and see my character get strong over time. It's like somewhat AFK sometimes, but the boss fights can be pretty intense. I think that's a lot of MMOs though. There's a lot of AFK time in MMOs. You could get over the click to move. I guess it'd be worth trying in earnest for a little bit. Like actually try it. Yeah. I'm not opposed to actually trying it. I don't know. I just don't know why I would play it over like Classic WoW or something, you know? That's what's tough. Or DarkFall or something like that. The problem is like there's too many games I kind of want to play currently. It's like my friend, he's been trying to convince me to try Eve, sort of convince me, because he also is, you know, just trying it out. And it's like I wouldn't be opposed to trying it, but it's like there's just so many games right now. It's tough. It's tough. Like right now is like a tough time to be trying like like an MMO, like some kind of other MMO, because I've got like Darkfall and Burning Crusade I kind of want to play. And then on top of that, like I also want to play other games. Like we played quite a few different games tonight. We played some Rivals, we played some Arena Breakout, we played some WoW. Like Marvels was fun. Arena Breakout was okay. Like it's fun, but it's not like I don't see myself playing a lot of it. To be honest, it hasn't really changed much at all, and it's kind of like how I remember. Like I'm not too interested in playing it much. And then Rivals is pretty fun like I remember. Um, so I definitely could try more of that. And then I was wanting to try Overwatch since it's kind of got some new stuff going on with it. Um, I was kind of thinking about Rust or No Man's Sky. I was kind of thinking about maybe dabbling in that just a little bit. And kind of the reason I want to try all these games a little bit is because I haven't played a lot of them in a long time, and they've all had some like new updates come out. Oh, and the Foxhole Airborne update. I've played a little bit of Foxhole recently, but the airplanes weren't out yet, so I want to try that out a little bit. But yeah, the reason I want to try these out is because like there's been a lot of updates for some of these games, and I just kind of feel like playing it like a little bit to see if I would like enjoy it or not. It's not to like play a bunch of hours in a bunch of different games or anything like that. It's more just to kind of like test it out, see if I'd want to play it more or not. But yeah, been some lulls last few years, so I managed to sneak it in there. Yeah, I played a lot of different games last year. Like each month, I kind of main gamed a different game. Like almost every month was like a different game. Like I played a month of Wildgate. I played a month of Warhammer Vermintide 2. I played a month of Arena Breakout. I played a month of Apex. I played a month of Marvel Rival. Well, I played a couple months of Marvel Rivals. That's probably the one I played the most. I played probably a month of Peak. I played a little bit of Splitgate 2. What else did I play? I already said Apex. Oh, I played a month of No Man's Sky. I played like a month of Diablo 4. Uh, yeah, so like I played a lot of different games last year. There's oh, and I played probably a month of Baldur's Gate at probably the beginning of the year, I think, of last year. Maybe it was the end of the year before that. But yeah, it's just been like there's been like a pretty big lull in games for the past like couple years, like you've been saying. So I've just kind of bounced around. I've tried to like play more stuff that I've tried to try more games out than I used to, because usually I just like main game a game for a while until I play it like way too much and then get burnt out. Oh, and I think Rust I mixed in there too this last year. I think that was another month. Yeah, I've tried to like mix it up a bit more, try more games out. So kind of did that last year before last. Played some PAX Day when it came out. PAX Day is like a little bit, man, I feel like PAX Day is like super sick in a lot of ways, but it's super like a letdown in a lot of other ways. Like very meh in a lot of ways, but it's very good in other ways. But anyways, the server doesn't, it's 30 minutes, right? I feel like the server came back up quicker the other day. Yeah, we should probably just get off of here. We've been streaming like, I don't even know at this point since it reset. Oh, 10, almost 11 hours. Dang, I didn't think we've been streaming that long. But yeah. Is anybody else streaming DarkFall? Probably not, since the server went down, right? Oh, Lee was dueling outside of Sanguine? Bro, I would have came and dueled. Not fair, bro. I would have came and dueled, man. I could have gotten wrecked by Lee. Dang it. That actually would have been sick. Maybe I would have gotten better. Oh well. Alright, well... Is Lee even here? I don't know if I should... 37 hours. I wonder if he's AFK or not. We'll host him, whatever. He's AFK, he's AFK, who cares? Alright. Or raid him or whatever. Whatever they call it these days. Alright, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the follows and the support and all that good stuff. But yeah. I'm not sure if I'll stream tomorrow, but I'll definitely stream next like day or two. And we'll probably bounce around to a few different games, trying out some stuff for the next couple days to a week. And then we'll probably settle on either playing like WoW or maybe a shooter and also DarkFall, right? Like I'm not going to stop playing DarkFall, but I also want kind of I want to try a few games, and I also want to play a little bit of like another game or two here and there while also playing DarkFall. So, but yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Good rest of your day, wherever you might be. And yeah, we'll see you next time. God bless. Goodbye. Goodbye.